What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. By the title and the thumbnail of this video, you can tell I have the most exciting announcement that I could possibly give you here on YouTube. I'm having a baby! I'm pregnant. I can hardly believe it. I mean, I can believe it, but whoa, it's so crazy. So in today's video, I am going to give you some of my early symptoms and how I found out and how long I've known, and I'm gonna give you an update up to week 8. Today is my last day being 8 weeks pregnant. Tomorrow I turn 9 weeks pregnant, and so I'm so excited to be sharing this with you all. So today, like I said, is my last day being 8 weeks pregnant, and tomorrow I switch over to 9 weeks. And so when I was unaware, but when I was unaware and I was about 5 weeks pregnant, I started wondering, am I pregnant? Because I was super tired. I had taken a couple naps the week before, and I was like, this is kind of abnormal. And then also my emotions were going crazy for about 2 weeks before that. So that would have been week 4 and week 5, maybe a little bit of week 3. My emotions were just, and I could tell it was that hormonal kind of emotional, like craziness. And so anyway, I thought, oh, maybe I'm just, I don't know what's going on, but I thought maybe this is just something kind of normal, and I am 29 years old, so maybe, I don't know, maybe my hormones have shifted and I just need to really work on controlling my emotions. I didn't know what was going on. But I started thinking, am I pregnant? What if I'm pregnant? And then we were out somewhere and I could just smell meatloaf really strong, which is, I know is really weird. I was at a restaurant and I could just smell meatloaf, and I was like, I really might be pregnant. So Paul and I went home, I kind of told Paul, and I mentioned to my sister, I kind of wonder if I'm pregnant. And I had a time last year where I was thinking, maybe I'm pregnant, so I had some pregnancy tests from then. So I thought, okay, because you're supposed to use the pregnancy tests that I had bought were early pregnancy tests, and they say you should use them first thing in the morning when you wake up. So I thought, okay, well, if I'm still feeling pregnant in a few days, I'm gonna take a test. So I woke up a few days later and I was like, today's the day, I'm gonna take this test. I had laid it out and read all the instructions the night before so I wouldn't mess it up or anything. And I took the test and I looked at it, and it was a positive, but it was kind of faint. Like, it wasn't like bold lines that were really evident. And I was like, so is that like fake, or is that just, if it's not a strong line, does that mean, you know, I just didn't know what that meant. So I thought, okay, I'll wait a few more days and I'll take it again. So I waited a few more days, and I had told Paul that I took it and it looked like I might be, but I was just telling myself, but you're probably not, Anna, because I don't know. I didn't exactly want to get my hopes up or anything. So I waited a few more days and I took it again, and the lines were even stronger. And I was like, I think I'm pregnant. And Paul was like, I think you're pregnant too, because with all the symptoms you're having, and you're like 6 weeks pregnant if you are, it just seems like you are pregnant. So I went ahead, I went on Amazon and I bought the book, What to Expect When You're What to Expect When You're Expecting. But before I purchased it, I looked at the first few pages, just because you can do that flip through on Amazon, that virtual flip through, and I was reading some of the stuff, just skimming it, and it said there's no such thing as a false positive on a pregnancy test, because it's testing the level of HCG hormone in your urine, and if it's picking that up, you're pregnant. So they said there was like a 1 in a million chance or something like that it would be a false positive. So I was like, wow, I'm pregnant. This was a positive, and there's no such, there are fake negatives, but there's no false positives. I'm pregnant, I'm gonna have a baby. So at that point I was like, 6 weeks, like I said. I was so excited. And so you're watching this, and this is my last day of being 8 weeks pregnant, but I'm not gonna post this until I'm 13 weeks pregnant. And so, and if you're wondering if I'm gonna keep doing, I'm kind of all over this place, but I'm so excited, so bear with me. I am gonna post weekly, once a week videos about my pregnancy update. So either how my symptoms have been for the last couple weeks, or I'm gonna do a video on the prenatal vitamin I'm on, just good informational videos, because that's something I've been doing like crazy. And I have been doing my research, and I like finding YouTubers based on their pregnancy update videos. So hi if you're new, and I will get to know you guys more and be able to share my journey, my experience with being pregnant with you all, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. And anyway, so that's what it was like the first week. The first week that I knew, which was the 5th and 6th weeks, I wasn't sick at all. No morning sickness, no nothing. Let me pull up my notes. I've been keeping notes on my phone just to kind of, because this is a bigger update. This is like 4 weeks worth of updates. Another reason I knew I was pregnant in that 5th week is I was using the bathroom a lot more frequently. Like I said, I could smell, like my sense of smell was really powerful, and I can't smell that well. In general, I can smell cinnamon and I can smell really strong meat. Ugh, that sounds horrible. Really strong mint. That's really a couple of the only smells I can really smell unless I'm right up next to a candle. So I don't have a great sense of smell normally, but my sense of smell was going crazy. I was very emotional, and my nails, this may not, I mean, maybe this is subjective, but my nails seem so much healthier because a lot of times my nails will like peel and I don't, just kind of like, they're not very strong, and I don't mind because I like keeping short fingernails, but my nails were growing faster and they were very strong. Something else, let's see, I was hungry all the time, everything tasted good, and yeah, so that was what it was like week, you know, like week 4 or 5 and into week 6. Then the day we took the test, I think it was I can't remember what day it was, but anyway, we took the test, that second test, and I was like, it's positive, I'm having a baby. And Paul was like, yeah, you're having a baby. He was excited, and we decided to go to Cheesecake Factory that night for dinner to celebrate, and I got the salmon, and it was really good. And we just had a really nice night. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, but we hadn't told anyone yet at that point. Right at the end of week 5 and leading into week 6, I started feeling a little queasy, just a little bit, and I was still feeling emotional, still frequent urination, still more tired than before, and soreness in my chest. I was really starting to crave milk, just like drinking milk all the time, and I'm still doing that. That has been the #1 craving I've experienced being pregnant is I haven't had cravings for food except I just want to drink milk all the time, and salty food settles my stomach when I do feel sick. I've had a couple of food aversions since almost, well, before I really found out for sure. I have not wanted to drink coffee hardly at all. It's been, and I am a coffee lover. If you've watched my videos in the past, I almost always have a mug of coffee with me in every video. I have not wanted to drink coffee. The thought of it right now is kind of gross to me. No coffee. I've just been drinking mugs of milk, 2%, really cold, and I've loved like really salty food, like salty chips with like nacho cheese, or chips and salsa, or anything, or salty with like chips with hummus. I guess chips is maybe kind of like a thing, but it just settles my stomach. My book came, I read like 150 pages in one night as soon as my What to Expect When You're Expecting book showed up, because I was like glued to it. I picked it up at the post office at like 3 o'clock and I read it all afternoon and evening. So weeks 7 and 8, I'll give you a little bit of update. I went, at the beginning of week 7, I went to Target for fun, and obviously you're not showing for quite a while, but at week 7, I was like, I want to go to Target and try on like maternity jeans and just, I don't know, see how they're fitting, because I could tell I was feeling just like bigger than normal, and I don't think it was because my baby was growing, because at week 8, your baby is supposedly the size of a kidney bean, which is tiny, but I just felt bigger in the tummy area, if you know what I mean. So I tried on maternity jeans, and I was like, wow, these are surprisingly nice, and I'm not that far away from actually being able to wear these things. And then, let's see, I had been taking just a regular multivitamin and folic acid before that, but I did my research and I picked up my my prenatal vitamin. It's actually a gummy, because week 7 I started really experiencing morning sickness, but it wasn't in the morning. It's usually, for me, in the later afternoon, and week 8, it's gotten even worse. Like this past week, I've been to where I'm just laying on the couch from like 3 p.m. on, and I don't want to get up. I just don't want to get up because I feel so queasy, so sick. And if I'll eat something salty, it'll make me feel better for like an hour, but then I'll feel it again. So anyway, picked up my prenatal vitamin week 7, and it's by the brand Smarty Pants. I got it off Amazon, even though I went to Target and Walmart and looked at theirs. This was, the best deal was on Amazon, and they are gummies, and I'll talk to you more about those in another video, but they're pretty good. My skin has been great. That is an awesome symptom of pregnancy. Let's see, I've been researching. We're going to Oklahoma for our uncle's wedding this next week, and when we get back, I'm gonna have my first appointment with my midwife, and I'll talk to you more about that after I go to that appointment. But I did my research, and I wanted to go to a midwife, and if you're interested in a more in-depth reason about midwife, versus OBGYN and stuff like that, let me know and I can do a video and explain my research and different things. But I wanted to go to a midwife, one, because it's really cost effective right now for us. Two, she is the one I'm going to be going to in Tennessee. She's an RN, she's a registered nurse. She has 2 graduate degrees from Vanderbilt, which is a great school. One, she's a nurse practitioner, which a lot of doctors' offices have nurse practitioners. If you have a UTI or like, you know, just like something simple, you can go see a nurse practitioner. So she has her nurse practitioner license, which is a graduate degree, and she has a graduate degree in midwifery or midwifery. People say it different ways. I'm not sure which way is the correct way, but she has 2 graduate degrees. She has hospital privileges at a really good hospital in the area, and she's a woman, which I kind of preferred. I don't know why. I don't have to have a woman doctor, but I kind of thought that would be nice. And she's not a doctor. She's a nurse practitioner with a graduate degree in midwifery. But I like that she's a woman. I can still have an epidural, which I think I'm gonna want an epidural. I'm still doing all my research, but I'm like 99.9% sure I want an epidural. And she seems to be, I don't want to have a C-section if I can avoid having a C-section, right? And I hear so many women who get induced. I've been watching these YouTube videos, like I said, they get induced, they're on Pitocin at like 38 weeks, and then they're like, oh, the baby's in distress and your system's saturated with Pitocin and now we have to do a C-section. So I'd rather work with someone who is not, I feel like the reviews I've read are that the midwives, they're more personally connected to what you want, and they're gonna work with you to try to achieve that goal. So for me, a goal is to avoid a C-section unless it's absolutely necessary. And if you've had a C-section, no judgment. That's just something I'd like to avoid. I've heard the recovery is extremely painful, and I don't wanna get into that if I can at all help it. So, researched on my midwife. I'm excited to have that appointment with her. We told our parents earlier on, like pretty soon after I found out. But we're gonna tell my siblings and Paul's siblings when we go to Oklahoma this next week, because all of our siblings, except for my sister Laurel and her husband Michael, they all live in Oklahoma. So we're gonna tell them in person, and I'm really excited for them to know. And I have 3 brothers and a sister, and Paul has 2 brothers and 2 sisters, so we both come from big families, so it'll be fun to tell everyone. And anyway, that'll be fun. If hello Jilski, hi Jillian, if you're watching this, if she's watching this video, it's so funny because she visited Nashville all the way from Florida. Her niece was graduating from a college in the area, and she was here, and we were hanging out, and we went to Bojangles to try to find cheerwine, and then they didn't have cheerwine. That's a soda, that's like a pop here in Tennessee, like a Coke or whatever. And we were there and we were talking about when she was pregnant with her son, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to get pregnant. Little did I know, Jilski, that I was pregnant when we were having that conversation. So that's kind of hilarious. And my mom called me like probably within 3 or 4 days of me being pregnant, in that same little time zone, and of me getting pregnant, conceiving. We both had no idea. She called me, she's like, Anna, are you sure you don't want to just go ahead and start trying to have a baby? And I was like, well, we're not trying, but we're not trying. And no, I don't think we're really gonna try right now, Mom. I think we're gonna wait for a little bit longer. And she just was like, okay, well, I don't want to put pressure on you, but I was just praying about it, but maybe I missed it. And anyway, little did she know that I was pregnant. Little did I know either. So that was kind of fun to look back on and think, I had that conversation with my mom and Jillian, and then lo and behold, I'm pregnant. So, let's see. A few things to tell you guys. I've been listening to the pregnancy podcast, and it's on iTunes, but it's interesting. She really gets into research. She's had a few episodes that I've been like, okay, I don't agree with everything you're saying, but she's had a lot of episodes that are really informational, where she talks about ingredients to be looking for in a prenatal vitamin, and she talks about the difference between a midwife and an OBGYN, and she just has some really interesting topics. So the pregnancy podcast has been an interesting resource to listen to, and it's something you can listen to while you're doing laundry, or whatever you're doing with your hands, you can be listening and getting all this information. There's a lot of episodes, so you can just listen on a road trip or anything like that. Something I'm hoping in the future that I feel better so I can start walking more. Paul walks after work almost every day in the week, so I want to start walking with him. That's when I've been feeling my worst, is in the evening time. When I was like 6 weeks pregnant, I was walking. So that was pretty much everything I wanted to fill you guys in on. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, if you want to see weekly pregnancy videos, plus videos about, you know, Christian girl life, because I do those as well. And yeah, I'll show you guys what my stomach looks like. I bought my maternity leggings just so I would be prepared. And I really like these. These are Be Active yoga leggings from Be Maternity by Ingrid and Isabel at Target. They were $34.99, but they're really thick. Like, they're gonna last me, I think, this whole pregnancy, I'm hoping. So that's what it looks like. Not very big at all. And we'll just see. We'll see it get big someday. So that's everything for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, and I will see you with my next video. Okay, bye.